How to lose a game at 13 moves, and we're going to go over this game by Peter Wells against Alexei Shirov. Let's get started. So we're going to start off this game with going d4, knight f6, and then going bishop g5. Probably one of my secret favorite openings called the Trompowsky Attack. I love it, and most people know about it, loves it too. Now, black decided to do c5, attacking this d-pawn. What happens after black plays c5? Well, white decided to take this knight on f6, and then g takes f6, and after g takes f6, we got the move d5, instead of just taking that pawn, because if we would have just took the pawn, this queen would have went to a5, checking the king and taking the pawn back. And so, yeah, this is a weird position, but with the Trompowsky attack, you kind of know what you're getting into. So after d5, black decided to play queen b6 to keep the initiative going, attacking this pawn on b2. And white decided, hey, I should probably protect that pawn on b2, and the only best way to protect the pawn is doing queen c1. Very passive, but this is still opening theory. After queen c1 was played, we got the move f5. Weird move, but you're going to figure out why the move f5 was played in a second, because you might be thinking, why isn't d6, or like, why aren't we developing these pieces on the queen side? But you're going to figure it out in a second. After f5, we got the move c4, and then bishop h6. And if you notice on this rank here, on the 6th rank, this queen is protecting this bishop. So this bishop is basically attacking this queen, getting an initiative in the opening. Pretty clever doing this move f5 at that moment. Now, what did white play in response to that? Well, after f5 was played, we got the move. Dang, what does it say on this dang computer? My eyes are just all over the place. We got the move e3 being played. After e3 was played, we got f4, e takes f4, and then kind of a weird move, bishop takes f4. What's the purpose of doing bishop takes f4? If the queen captures this bishop on f4, then the queen is going to take this pawn on b2, threatening the rook. And you're kind of taking a gamble, like pretty much, is the queen useless on the b2 square, and are you willing to sacrifice your rook on a1 to get some type of advantage in the opening? Who knows? Let's see. Let's figure out what's going to happen. White decided to take this bishop on f4 with the queen, even though it's an inaccuracy, and based on the computer, they wanted to play the move queen c2, but I digress. These are humans playing. These aren't computers playing. And black decided, you know what? I'm not going to let you punk me. I'm not just going to let you take a bishop for free. I already had this in mind, so I'm just going to take this pawn on b2, and then I'm going to take your rook on a1 because I'm a boss like that. What you mean? And so white decided to play knight e2. Black took the rook on a1, knight c3, and after knight c3, then we got the move. After that, we got the move queen b2, major blunder in the position, because the best move was actually just going d6, trying to develop this bishop, trying to get this knight on d7, do something with whatever's going on right here, because you don't have any development. And playing a slow move like queen b2 when you have no development and you're still in the opening, kind of in the opening, you're almost in the middle game. The white pieces are almost in the middle game, so they can start attacking pretty soon, and that's a dangerous position to be in. So black played queen b2, wrong move, because they should have played d6. White figured out, oh snap, since they didn't play the best move d6, I'm going to stop them from playing the best move, and I'm going to play d6 to keep the initiative. I have more pieces developed. I can attack my opponent very easily. That's what white figured out. And after playing the move d6, black played queen c2, and then final move of what white played was queen e3. We're threatening checkmate on the e7 square because this king is not castled at all, and none of these pieces on the queen side are developed. And so we got this quick checkmate threat that we're threatening. And that isn't the only thing that we're threatening with playing queen e3. Now we could do a tempo move, bishop d3, on the next move after e6 is played. But in this position, this is the position that black decided to resign because they knew that they're in a horrible position. They're in a horrible game. But let's say that this was still played, and let's say that this game was still going, I don't know, another 5 moves. E6 has to be played to stop the checkmate. Bishop d3, and then after bishop d3, queen b2, and then queen g5, threatening checkmate again. This is just bad. Knight c6, stopping checkmate. Castle kingside. h5, weird move, but this was the moves that the computer was suggesting if black continued. Queen g7, and after queen g7 we got rook f8, knight d2, ugly move. After knight d2, b6, trying to feed and kettle, trying to develop these pieces on the queen side and castle on the queen side, but it's too late after the move. Knight d, e4, threatening to check and take the rook and put the black king into checkmate. And this pretty much is how the game could have went if the game would have continued. And yeah, this, I don't know, it's pretty ugly. It's pretty ugly. And let me just show you the checkmate right quick. Bishop b7, knight check, king moves, queen takes rook on f8, checking the king. There's no way for this king to get out of check in this position because of this major pawn that we pushed up to d6. And yeah, this is a checkmate position. Not saying that this would have went down like this, but saying that this how bad black's position was since they didn't develop these queenside pieces and they didn't castle their king. And yeah, don't get into this position. Don't lose a game in 13 moves.